What's up, guys? So I thought I'd do a Yankees preseason batting practice reaction video. So let's get it going. So this is Anthony Rizzo, it looks like. This is the guy who worked with Richard Skank. So we will see how he improves, if he improves. Funny enough, last season he had one of his worst seasons ever. Actually, it was his worst season ever in the major leagues. I don't know. Maybe you guys know something I don't. I guess maybe he had an injury. I don't know. But here's another teed up titleist for Richard Skank. He works with the largest hitter in Major League Baseball history, who unbelievably starts hitting home runs at an amazing pace. He's only 6'8", 282. Richard Skank must have done something right, and the karma's just coming back for him because first he gets the largest hitter of all time, and now he's getting Anthony Rizzo, who had his worst season in his, I don't know how many years. When did he start? 2011. So he's got to improve from last season, I would think. But we'll see how much he does improve. So let's look at his swing. I mean, honestly, I should say I don't really like swings of today. Like almost always I see swings of guys today and it all looks the same. It's all the same kind of swing. We live in this paradigm. People don't really understand. And I think this is why a big reason why my method doesn't jive with people is because my method can't exist in a paradigm that is popular today. And people who are within the paradigm, it's like a fish in water. They don't realize they're in this paradigm. To them it's just normal and they can't even really comprehend something outside of it. People don't realize that when I say I want to, do big things in swing instruction, I want to have a revolutionary effect. And people don't realize that that's even possible because they're quite content with what's going on right now. And so when I see today's swing, I just see they get real tense. It's all the same look. They get real tense. They get real tense and low as the pitch is coming, and then they just fire their hands out. The biggest difference between what there are a lot of differences, but where I think Richard Skank's method goes really wrong is that hand depth to them is not even in the kinetic chain. So think about that. I mean, you're actually not using your shoulders, basically. You're snapping like this and your hands never get deep. It's like they're not even connected. You're moving energy up through the body, but then you're skipping the shoulders. Because the hands they never even stress the shoulders. The hands aren't getting back here. So that whole part of the kinetic chain is being skipped. And so they just fire out from here. Now, it can work. It can make you have a little bit more of a connected position, more consistently connected position at contact. And that can actually do some good things for somebody who's 6'8", 282. But, number one, this 6'8", 282 guy still could do better with a better swing. And number two, most people are not that big. So it's simply not going to work for most people. And the main thing is this main flaw of really just skipping that link in the chain. The hand depth link or the shoulders, whatever you want to call it. And so I see this same thing from everybody today. And, kudos to Richard Skank. He has everybody on board. And everybody is doing pretty much the same swing, and they might not even realize they've bought into conventional instruction. It might just be that everyone on their team swings that way, and they just start to, almost like through osmosis, just starts to swing. They start to swing the same way. The same way if you hang out with a person with a certain personal characteristic, you're going to start to take on some of their characteristics just by being around them. So the swing of Richard Skank is in the air. What I'm working for is to the point where what I think is a great swing is just in the air. It's out there. At that point, I think you're really going to see big improvement. And people think that Richard Skank is changing the game and all that. And like I said, I don't think that that people understand just what kind of revolution in swing instruction I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about 6'8" or 6'5" guys using a technique and it working. I'm talking about a technique that literally brings everybody up to a new level. And honestly, I don't think that either I or anyone else can comprehend what the landscape of swing instruction will look like once that happens. So let's there you can see just that kind of tight. Look at how backed up he is. And again, if you go back to the hand depth thing, there's no hand depth. His hands almost never disappear, or he's not getting any fluidity. He's just firing outward. His hands are almost immediately in front of his chest, which means he's going to have a pushy swing. I mean, you can't not push. What else are you going to use? You're not using much of your body. The elbow extension should just be used in case of an emergency and adjustment. I mean, that's not to say that you don't extend your back elbow through contact. It's just that primarily we want to use our body rotation to hit the ball. And so if you're in a baseline position at contact, a regular position at contact with what I believe is a good swing, you won't have so much extension at contact, so much, tightness that you see here from Rizzo, so much leaning back. When your barrel's not entering the zone, you have to lean back to create room. And it just happens to go along with this whole idea of stay on the back leg. So everything works together and conveniently produces a certain type of swing due to the paradigm that's out there right now. All right, let's see if we can get through this video without me blabbering on. There's a ground ball. Oh, no. Skank is not doing his job. There you go. With another inside-out swing. You could see it from, 300 feet away? 300 plus feet away here. And you can see it from here. Look at how the hands push out, and there's this slicing blow on the ball. And then he's obviously flipping through contact because look at the bat, just flipped. Now, this guy's a great hitter. He's got a 125 OPS plus. But it takes more than just swing mechanics to be great. And if you look at his pound for pound rating, being somebody who weighs 240, I mean, I don't know if he's on the pound for pound list, but let's see. I mean, he could be. He still could be, but 240, that's a big guy. They're basically, if you're 240, even 230, the rule, the fence is the same distance for everyone. It's not moving back for the bigger guys. So there comes a time where it just hits a tipping point, and fly balls, for most people, sometimes are leaving the yard for these bigger guys. People don't really realize that. But when you're 240, you're playing a bit of a different game. What I want to do in swing instruction is, like I said, when you start seeing guys who weren't home run hitters, clearly weren't home run hitters, and they clearly from one season to the next, turn into, I don't know, one home run every 25, 30 at-bats, whereas before they were maybe one every 110. That's when, this whole thing will shift. The whole understanding will shift. But for me, working with guys who are 240 and increasing their home runs, I don't know. I don't even think he's done it with anyone other than Judge, except for Kerry Carpenter, who's also a big guy. But again, I'd like to see a smaller guy, maybe I don't know, 180 to 200. That's the ideal person I want to work with, is a smaller guy, and taking him from definite, not a power hitter, to definitely a power hitter, a power threat. Anyways, I don't care for this swing. It can work, and it especially can work for big guys. I think I've beat a dead horse there. But I'm just trying to make you guys see how I'm seeing today's current swing, the popular swing. Now here's Judge. I mean, if you just look at how much bigger he is than everyone else. I mean, and if you don't understand that, I mean, I went through his home runs when he hit 62, and I counted, I think, 15 that would not have left the park clearly for a regular guy, both by the look of the hit when he hit it, kind of a slicing hit, and then how much it cleared the fence by. It's his height. Judge's height has got to give him another 30 feet at times. And maybe just an extra, even if it's just an extra 10 or 15, that can be huge. But here you can see, I mean, a regular person doing this, look at this, completely skips the hand depth, just kind of fires out from here, and then extremely disconnected at contact. But like I said, the rules just don't really apply the same way for a guy that big. Let's keep playing it. It's the same swing that I see, like that right there. You see that slicing hit? So much of that, because these guys just have bought into this. And there you see the cutoff finish. There you go, the slicing hit. You guys can see it with your own eyes there. I mean, who knows? Maybe these guys are even encouraged to be going the other way. I bet you, I would not be surprised if this was like a go the other way round or something. Now we got live pitching. This is good to see, because I think this is the thing that hitters are lacking the most. I think hitters should be doing this for hours and hours a day, just seeing live pitching. And I do think they should use slightly lighter balls and softer balls, but still can curve a lot. Just so if they get hit, they're not, it's not doing too much damage. This is terrible music, so we'll shut it off. I wonder if that's music that's being played while they practice. That would be disappointing. But I bet you it is. It sounds like it's like just in the, like almost like they do at a stadium before games. I would not be in favor of that. I think whoever thought that was a good idea should probably not have their job. But I just think quietness is probably better. What is this move that pitchers do now, where they like get in this position and then they do another step? Like everyone's doing that. And that there's another example of, look, we all just get into this, it's like in the ether, and everyone just picks up on this certain way of moving, and it affects everybody, and everyone starts doing the same thing, and they don't even really realize that they're doing it. And it happens with pitching. I just see a lot of these. I don't know what the purpose is of it. If someone said, hey, guys, we're going to start doing this. Maybe someone came out with some book or something where they said this actually, you know, reduces your heart rate or something like that. I don't know. But they all do this little pickup of the foot, just little pickup as they're getting set. I'm not sure what it is. You can see the move that hitter just rehearsed is again a lot of the conventional teaching of he was doing this. I mean, everyone tries to do it on a large scale. There's another slice. And it's weird because as you get to the higher levels, people start to take instruction more seriously because the game is more, they think to themselves, I should be a diligent professional and look into what swing instruction is about. And so at the higher levels, I mean, almost everybody is this kind of hands straight to the ball type of swing. There's another slice. And it's weird to see. It's weird to see it at the higher levels because I want to say, I want to see at the higher levels like almost perfection in every area. But I'm sorry, I feel like I know a good swing. I've devoted basically my life to understanding the swing. And I'm not seeing a lot of good swings. And the ones that I do like, these are the guys who are usually doing the best. Acuna, Goldschmidt. Pound for pound, doing the best. Trout, Olson. But even those guys, I think, have a touch of today's instruction in their swing. And there's another swing that's so much of what I'm talking about right there. You can see the bat flip. I don't know, maybe I think you guys should be able to see it. I've seen it. Look, you can see it flip. Actually, it's easier to see in regular motion. I've written about this in my books, I used to play short, and in college I started to pick up that the worst hitters would flip the bat through the zone. You could see just a little, it's slightly aesthetically unpleasing compared to a good swing. A good swing will just be very flat through the zone. But look at how much, if we played in fast motion, you can see it. You can't quite see it, but you can almost, just by looking at the full picture, you can sort of intuit it. There's a little jump of the bat through the zone. Let's see that practice swing that this guy in the on-deck circle is taking. Oh, I bet it's just one I love. Look at that. Backhand, straight to the ball. And I love how they slow the hand down and move the barrel into the zone. At that speed, they're going to be able to just, now I'll just slow the hand and move the barrel. No, if your hand takes this route to start, guess what it's doing? It's going, you can't just slow now. You're going that way. So it's going to be a push swing. You've disabled, basically in my estimation, you've disabled a good swing right from the start here. This move right here. And I'm looking at the on-deck circle. Look at that. And then the held extension. Like that cut-off swing at the end. Another leaker of power from today's swing. This cut-off finish, which I think was picked up from Trout. And that's what swing instruction does. It kind of, in the absence of a real good paradigm out there, people are just drawn to just, okay, I'll take that and that, some of that, and a little bit of his swing, and I don't know, I'll take it all. And you end up with, but I think that was a Mike Trout contribution to swing instruction, that cutoff finish. But he's able to do that because of what goes on back here. And he's not extending out hard like this guy's doing on deck. I don't know who that is. They all look like little, I don't know, maybe sometimes linebackers, but a lot of them look like a I don't know, defensive back or something like that, like, or a running back even. Some of these guys, like stocky, they're all pretty much very similar look probably because everyone's onto that pretty much the same fitness routine, which I think it builds good mass, but it's real hard on the joints, and I think that's the biggest reason why we're seeing so many injuries. It's seriously hard on the joints, and we're still in like a CrossFit paradigm out there, where a lot of people were affected by it, and it's still very much in the sort of the way that people do fitness in the off season. There's that swing again. I mean, I'm not overly impressed with any of these swings. Look at that. Hand straight to the ball. And by the way, this makes you more susceptible to bad pitches. Everyone's always saying, like, I won't be able to reach this pitch or that pitch with this swing. And that, I don't know what this fascination is with you'll be able to hit every single kind of pitch. No, actually, with swing mechanics, you want to disable yourself from hitting so many different kinds of pitches. Then your body. I mean, if your body can't hit a certain pitch, then it's gonna stop swinging at them. But with this hands to the ball approach, you can easily hit that high pitch. They look good, and this is just a nasty position at contact. I mean, I can tell the front arm is completely away from the body. They're out. His hands were out in front. There's no power. You're only going to slice the ball to the opposite field. Ugh, I don't like that look, that swing at all. So there you have it, guys. So thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.